Hello, what is up everyone? It's Fluffy X-Wings, and today I'm going to be playing a little bit of commentary Apex on, these are some tips and tricks I'm going to be giving along the way. If you're a beginner, I think these might really help you get better at the game and improve on your skills. If you're medium, maybe some of these will help you, and if you're advanced, you probably don't need this. But I'm gonna do it anyway. So my first tip is probably where you should drop, and where you drop, you just kind of drop where you're comfortable and you kind of are familiar with how to drop there. One of my big things is don't try and hot drop every game. Just if you're at any rank, really, no matter how good you are, you're always going to die at some point. And just landing in a really contested spot will not help that. It will make you lose interest in the game Apex really quickly, because no one wants to hot drop and die every time. So drop somewhere not too contested. But I mean, if you want to go for a 2K or anything, go ahead. This doesn't really matter that much. It just might make your Apex experience a little less fun. My second thing is what character you choose. And the characters, normally I just say do whoever is comfortable, but there are different situations where you need different characters. And I mean need different characters. Like if you're playing ranked with some friends, you should always have a mobile character who can take the rest of the team out of bad situations, like a Wraith who can port out if you're in trouble, or like a Pathfinder who can zip, or maybe even an Octane. Another thing is there are some characters who can't be used in every situation. Like Crypto pretty much has no value in close combat unless you can hide and get an EMP off. But like those types of characters that are situational, kind of like Loba, I mean, you can kind of always use Loba, but she isn't the most helpful, especially in late game when everyone already has good loot.
Let's go this way.
So those characters are kind of situational and will not be as helpful as more you can always use this character, like a Bloodhound or a Wraith. Those are useful in almost every situation. Another thing is what you carry for your loadout. Loadouts, normally you just do what's comfortable, but one thing that I think really matters is carrying a spray weapon. Like shotguns, they're good for a secondary weapon, but you should always rely on a spray weapon. I just think it's the most useful to rely on a spray weapon, just because spray weapons are just shred in close combat. Like I would recommend an R301, or like a Volt or an R99. But really anything works. Like you can use a flatline, a Spitfire, an alternator. Really anything. Just using a spray weapon can make a really big difference.
30 seconds until the ring closes. You like cutting it close, huh? I dig that.
Another thing is when you're dropping, if you want to go to far locations, like away from the spaceship or whatever drops you. I think there are kids up here. There's a thing that you can do where you aim down and then you aim back up. It's kind of like this motion, and it helps you go a lot farther when dropping.
Spitfire here. Get the extended mag and you're a solid range fire.
And it just really helps you get to further locations. I think we might be approaching a fight here. I'm okay with fighting this, just because, actually no, they have a lot better evos. think that'll keep him away for a while. But I think I'm definitely dead if I should have pushed that. Yeah, I think now I just have to run away. Another thing is, having like communications and pinging is really helpful. So like if you see something that's that needs to be brought to attention to your teammate, always ping it. Even if you can like describe it and talk to them, just always ping it if you can, because pinging makes a big difference. It just provides a visual of where they are, and the amount of time it takes to describe it might be a little longer. And so that amount of time that you use the visual instead of actually verbally telling someone really makes a difference. Now another tip is, if you're a solo, you always want a spray weapon. Like I think this is a must-have when you're a solo, because you need a weapon that can spray quickly. I think there's a fight over here. I should probably get out of this little hill area. Blue Evo, definitely can kill him.
Charging shields.
No, I'm kind of in a bad spot because of this hill. But I did what I wanted to do, get my Evo up to purple. The one thing is they might be coming after me now. So I think I'm gonna play it safe and just dip out this way.
Ready, set, go. Over here.
So Octane, I wouldn't recommend for beginners, just because as a beginner, Octane, it makes, like, you might think Octane does nothing. For me, I just like the pace of Octane. Octane is not, like, if you're a slow-paced player, then I don't know if Octane is the right choice. I just really like Octane because he plays high-pace Apex. What I mean by that is, like, Octane is basically just Apex, but everything's faster. Like, you move faster, you heal faster, and even though he's pretty much a heroin addict, he is very useful in a lot of situations, especially like combat. See, I hate these things. They always look like people. But as a solo, I have a purple Evo, so I don't need to fight anymore. But if people come near this jump tower, I might spray them. In this situation, I kind of have to camp. And another tip is, if there's ever 3 squads left and you're a solo, or you're at a disadvantage, or just anything in general, if there are 3 teams left and they are fighting, and 2 of them are fighting, you should always third party. It just gives you a much higher chance of winning. I think he sees me. Yeah, that Bloodhound might have seen me. I might snipe this just because I can.
How you like that? Replicators on the way, amigos.
I don't think that exposed my position, but they kind of know where I shot from, which scares me a little bit. My teammate left, but I mean, there was nothing I could do for him. Another thing is, in any like battle royale in general, if your teammate dies and they're still there and you know you can't win a fight, don't jeopardize the game for your teammate. Like, it's nice, and if you can, I would definitely say do it, because teammates give you a huge advantage that would not be there if the teammates died. But sometimes, like, you have to leave your teammate. Like, it's just logic. Like, to win, sometimes you have to sacrifice, like, your teammate or something. So yeah, so don't definitely just blindly go in for someone's recovery banner. We're getting a late game now, kinda, and I've got a long way to go, but I do have jump tower. I just want to make sure I don't get on the jump tower and someone uses it directly after me. Another thing is try and crouch as much as possible when you don't want to be detected, because hearing footsteps makes a big difference. Like, footsteps are pretty loud and you know when an enemy's coming.
1 minute. Ring's just around the corner.
I don't know if the Bloodhound and Lifeline are still in this area that I fought earlier.
Gotta make it to the ring in 45.
At like 20, I think I'm gonna go here.
"30 seconds till ring close."
I think someone probably has a Kraber, so I'm gonna have to watch. 25, 24, 23, 22, and I think that's it. We're gone. First, I want to check this. Nothing. I don't know where I'm headed. I should have probably thought about that. Here, I think I might just head up here, because I know there's probably a lot of kids in this area.
Inside the ring. Sweet.
So I think I'm gonna just chill here. I think I hear shots like over this hill.
Let's go over here.